The Incredible Hulk, created by Stan the Man Lee and Jack the King Kirby, debuted in a monthly Marvel comic series in 1962, one of many Lee Kirby collaborative creations. Along with the Amazing Spider-Man, the Hulk was destined to become one of Marvel's brightest and biggest stars. The inevitable transition from printed page to animated television series quickly followed.
Dr. Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into the Hulk.
Ain't he on glamour rays?
Wrecking the town with the power of a bull.
Ain't no monster clown who is as lovable
As ever-loving Hulk. Hulk.
Though it would take almost 2 decades for the green-skinned Goliath to return to television, the Incredible Hulk made his triumphant return to primetime in a live-action series.
Dr. David Banner, physician, scientist, searching for a way to tap into the hidden strengths that all humans have. Then an accidental overdose of gamma radiation interacts with his unique body chemistry. And now when David Banner grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs.
Though other Marvel superheroes such as Captain America and Spider-Man also made their live-action debut to television around the same time, neither show was as good or taken as seriously as The Incredible Hulk. Airing from 1978 to 1982, The Incredible Hulk was a bona fide hit, leaving such an impact on its audience that the series would return to TV in the form of 2 90-minute episodes in the late 80s. The Incredible Hulk Returns partners the Hulk with Marvel's Mighty Thor, and the trial of the Incredible Hulk, intended as a backdoor pilot for Marvel's Daredevil, highly focused on the Man Without Fear and his supporting cast of characters. Though Trial of the Incredible Hulk is the better of the 2 episodes, efforts made to turn Daredevil into an ongoing series obviously failed and would never again be revised.
My memories of the TV series are all very pleasant. The series was directed, and the first one was written, and maybe some of the others were written, by Ken Johnson, who to me is one of the most brilliant TV director-writers. And Ken and I had a few discussions before starting the live-action series. As you know, in the book, people have always said to me, don't you resent the fact that he was changed a little bit in the series? Hell no, every change was an improvement. You can't exactly replicate anything from one form of the media to the other. Things that work perfectly in comics won't work perfectly in movies. You know, I was in one of the Hulk episodes, the justly famous trial of the Incredible Hulk. I mean, people go from far and wide to get a tape of that because, well, it was a very funny situation. It was a little cameo. The Hulk was on trial, and there was a scene shot in the courtroom, and there was the jury box with the 12 members of the jury. I was one of the members of the jury. In fact, I'm very proud to say I was the foreman. Now, I'm sitting in the jury box. I didn't have anything to say. I'm sitting in the jury box, and at some point, the Hulk angrily gets up from the witness chair, comes over to the jury box, and he lifts it up from the bottom with all 12 people in it. Now, obviously, it was done. There was a hydraulic lift under the box, but it looked as if he was doing it. He only lifted it about that much off the floor, just to show his strength. The idea was the jurors were supposed to jump out of the box and run away in fear. So I was happy, you know, I couldn't wait. He lifted the box. I started to jump. And Bill Bixby, I believe it was Bill who was directing it, he said, "Cut! Stan, I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You don't jump out of the box." I said, "Oh, you mean I'm brave and I stay here?" He said, "No, you're not a stunt man. You can't jump. We got to put a stunt man in there to jump out of the box." I said, "Bill, it's this high off the ground. I could step out of the box." "No, that's considered a stunt." I had to leave the jury box. My stunt double came in, and he jumped out. I was so mad. I want to jump out of the box. Wouldn't let me do it.
As a kid, already a fan of superheroes and comic books, I watched the Incredible Hulk TV series religiously. Although admittedly was often bored by the drama in the show that dominated almost all of its runtime, with 2 Hulkouts per episode amounting in 5 minutes or so, give or take, of actual Hulk action. The Hulk was one of my favorite Marvel Comics characters, and when the inevitable transformation from Dr. Banner to Incredible Hulk would occur, I was always satisfied. Keep in mind, this is back during a time when you had to settle for whatever you could get when it came to Marvel superheroes in live-action form. Flash forward some years later, when the Incredible Hulk series was airing in reruns. I'm a bit older and somewhat wiser, and I experienced the reverse effect upon rewatching the show. I became much more engaged with Bill Bixby's performance as Dr. David Bruce Banner. Though the series feels dated and repetitive at times, it's never boring, especially when it comes to the in-depth character study of Dr. Banner, a man trying to cure himself of his alter ego, a man on the run with a plate full of nothing but troubles, and no matter how hard he tries to isolate himself from others and look out for himself, he ultimately cannot turn his back on someone, anyone, in need of a helping hand. I'd be hard-pressed to think of another actor in that era that could convey the empathy of Dr. Banner better than the late, great Bill Bixby. Though others would go on to play the role of Dr. Banner, and I like them all to varying degrees, my absolute favorite, without a doubt, is Bixby's portrayal. Arnold Schwarzenegger was offered the role of the Hulk, but as fate would have it, he was already committed to a starring role in Conan the Barbarian. Richard Kiel, who would go on to be well known as Jaws in the James Bond series of films, was initially given the starring role because of his immense height, but after filming some footage of him as the Hulk, series producer Kenneth Johnson began to reconsider bodybuilder Lou Ferrigno, who also auditioned for the part, but didn't get it because he was deemed too short to portray the Green Giant. However, it became apparent to Johnson that what Ferrigno lacked in height, he more than made up for with muscle mass, an attribute that was needed for the role and one that Kiel unfortunately lacked. Kiel was replaced by Ferrigno, and as they say, the rest is history. Ferrigno also brought a kindness and gentleness to the part that's essential to the character. The Incredible Hulk television series will always have a special nostalgic place in my heart. A series that not only connected with me as a kid, but I was able to reconnect with as an adult, proving the series accomplished what it set out to do in the first place, appeal to kids as well as adults. The Incredible Hulk television series became yet another reason to make mine Marvel.
Anything about this creature, it is your duty to report that to the police.
You're letting your imagination run away with you now. I have never seen this creature that you're talking about.
Forgive me, Doctor, but I am calling you a liar.
Mr. McGee! Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
When I watch the Hulk on the screen, or when I watched X-Men or Spider-Man, believe me, I am watching just like any member of the audience. I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it. And if there's anything that's a little not good, I'm not liking that part. And I'm never saying to myself, gee, I'm the guy who started it. Or, that thought isn't even in my mind. I just watch it like I watch any other show. And I sometimes wonder why that is. Shouldn't it be different? But it isn't. It's like I watch any movie and I watch the Hulk or I watch the others, and I got to admit I like them.